Hello, Duel Juggernaut. My name is Yugiran, and welcome back to Rush Duels Archetypes. So, yeah, I've been gone for like 2 to 3 months, depends on what time this video comes out. But we're moving forward from that because I don't want to talk about it. I'll probably talk about it in a different video. So, yeah, we'll move on to my favorite archetype we're talking about is the Ultimate Flag archetype. First debuting in an actual game, to be fair, an actual video game before coming out. Being Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Rush Duels, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Rush Duels, Dawn of the Battle Royale. I'm sorry, I've already had like 4 different takes of this, and I butchered it none of the times until now. But we're sticking with this one now because I'm too tired. First produced by the protagonist, but not in the anime, but in the games, when you unlock it after beating the game. Don't ask how that works. Yuga Oda, because let's be fair, he has one of the cards, so he's technically classed in this list, but I wouldn't class him. Tayo Asebe being his first actual deck before moving to the Seven Roads, and then move on to Galaxies, and then Watu Himokai, who basically used his deck, but vamped up with some of the new stuff, but we're not going to worry about that. So, what's the classification of an Ultimate Flag card? They must be a machine monster, even though they're in the cybernetic universe, but don't ask how that works because they're just machine. Must be level 7. Must be levels 1 to 7. Must be large attribute. Must include ultimate in the card's text, because saying Ultimate Flag, that kind of then cuts off everything that I need to talk about. And then there are 2 sub-archetypes into this, being the Ultimate Flag Mechs and the Ultimate Flag Beast. The Ultimate Flag Mechs are level 7 monsters with 2,500 attack and 1,600 defense, and the Flag Beast must have 200 defense. So, just for that clarification, because we are going to talk about both of them in the same video. And they're classed as altogether as the Ultimate Flag. So let's continue with the main deck monsters, first covering the Flag Beast monsters. First we have Ultimate Flag Beast Avian's Wolf, a level 4 light attribute machine type monster with 1,500 attack and 200 defense. Its flavor text reads, a geared beast designed as a living weaponry, and such dodginess awakens the Ultimate Flag bravery. I probably said that wrong, but oh well. But yeah, this is just a generic level 4 monster, being 1,500 attack, 200 defense. Well, the defense doesn't really matter, but the attack does. In other words, very early on in Rush Duel's career, 1,500 attack was the practical peak of a monster, of a level 4 lower monster, before Transunic Reinhardt Pro Kit being 100 attack points higher. But we're not going to talk about that. In other words, this is your just generic good boy, because let's be fair, wolves are dogs and he's adorable, even if he's trying to kill you. Next we have Ultimate Flag Beast Aim Eagle, a level 2 light attribute machine type monster with 200 attack and 200 defense. The requirement for its effect is, if your opponent has a level 7 or higher monster on the field, send 2 light attribute monsters from your field to your graveyard. Special summon 1 machine type monster from your hand face up to the field. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of its turn. Now, notice how it says light attribute monsters. So you can splash in Celebros, you can splash in Light Galaxy, Dragius if you want to. But in other words, light attribute monsters kind of like this card, but it then limits on special summoning the monster. But notice, obviously sending monsters, face up monsters, you can even send itself for its requirement, which is kind of funny, which pulls off the effect. So you can send it and another level attribute monsters, let's say Intellislime. But yeah, it's a very good monster. But unfortunately, he is kind of weak. Also, why is he a beast when he is just a bird? Like, they could have called it Ultimate Flag, Striker or something like that. Like Ultimate Flag something Aim Eagle. Or Ultimate Flag Wings Aim Eagle. That would have been cooler. Oh well, you're stuck as a beast. Next, we have Ultimate Flag Beast by Boltercorn, a level 3 light attribute machine type monster with 1200 attack and 200 defense. The requirement for its effect is if you have no monsters facing the field, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. One face down monster spell or trap your opponent controls cannot be activated until the end of this turn. Until the end of the next turn. Now, that just stops basically Mirror Force, Scat Thief, or Magic Cylinder. Or even Torrential Tribute. Well, Torrential Tribute, no, because that's a tribute summon, so they just tribute everything they activate on that summon, so don't worry about that one. But in other words, this stops some of the most powerful traps in the meta for just a very, very low cost of just controlling nothing else and then sending the top card to the graveyard. Normally that would be a bad thing, but considering Rush Duel's meta, yeah, they kind of like getting things to the graveyard. Because now, fucking Graveyard Fusion is a thing. Because, 7 Wonder Turbo, and then, Demolition Worms, but we're not going to worry about that. But in other words, other than it just being a spell and trap preventer, it's kind of useless. Outside of that, yeah, you can use it as tribute cost, but yeah, level 3 1200 attack is not strong. There are level 3 monsters with 1400 attack, and yes, unfortunately, they are it's one of the Galaxy monsters. But oh well, you tried. Well done. Next, we have Ultimate Flag Beast Lead Unicorn, a level 3 light attribute machine type monster with 1100 attack and 200 defense. The requirement for its effect is that you have 3 or more light attribute monsters in your graveyard. Change one level 4 or lower monster on the field to face down defense position, then special summon level 5 machine type monster from your hand face to the field. Now, at first glance, you probably think, when you get a level 4 monster on the field, well, the thing is, some archetypes like a lot of monsters with fusion requirements, and if they don't have fusion, they kind of just have them face up because they're stronger in attack than defense. And this kind of counteracts it because of another archetype called the Sky Saviors or whatever they are. But anyway, in other words, this is just, you could say this is just for Cyber Dragon if you really want to, because that's the main level 5 machine you will think of for Rush Duels. And yes, Cyber Dragon is in Rush Duels, but it's actually made for an in-archetypal card for a very niche reason, but we'll talk about that one when we get to it. He won't be far away, I'll tell you that. But other than that, Unicorn is okay, because let's be fair, Bicorn sends to top of the deck to graveyard, and this will just, revert, actually gains advantage for Bicorn, for Boltcorn, so yeah, that's fine. 2 very decent monsters. And then one of the best beast monsters in the deck, Ultimate Flag Beast Surge Bicorn, a level 3 light attribute machine type monster with 800 attack and 200 defense. The requirement for its effect is shuffle 3 machine monsters in your graveyard into the deck. This turn, this card can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a light attribute machine monster in attack mode. In other words, literally, in other words, it is a level 7 higher tribute cost for only 1 monster. That is the best way to describe him, and he's just a resource management for the deck. He's basically Recovery Force plus the ability to be class 2 tributes fused into 1. And he's great at his job. Bear in mind, he doesn't limit just saying light machine, so you can spam any other type of machine monster into the deck. So maximum machines, literally, probably, I guess, if you really want to do that, Craft Road and, Barrel Dragon. Heck, you can even shuffle back Jinzo for, literally no problem. Just the only requirement needs to tribute. That monster has to be tributed for a light machine. That's 2 tributes. But it can still be classed as a normal tribute for a normal summon for a different monster. So, yeah. In other words, a great card. And I love him to bits because he's, the GOAT. Next, we have Ultimate Flag Beast Cannon Rhino, a level 5 light attribute machine type monster with 1600 attack and 200 defense. The requirement for its effect is to send 1 attribute machine monster from your hand to the graveyard. Choose one light attribute machine monster from the field. If this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing battle damage. Then, if that face-up monster is a machine monster, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Now, this is what I mean by, obviously, the Unicorn being a representation, using Ultimate Flag Beast, Cannon Rhino as the, level 5 in question. But this monster is a main support for literally the 2 normal monsters in this deck. We've already seen one of them, we're going to see the one in just a minute. But because of the way it inflicts piercing battle damage, it refers to the Unicorn having to make sense for, it switches to level 4 monster defense mode. But other than that, it's, I guess, an okay level 5 monster. I've seen a lot more powerful ones in Rush Duels. But you know what? He gets his job done, so well done, buddy. You get a pat on the head. And please don't spear me with your horn. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to the Ultimate Flag Mech monsters. Starting with the other normal monster of the deck, Ultimate Flag Mech Tough Striker. A level 7 light attribute machine type monster with 2500 attack and 1600 defense. And yes, the attack and defense will be the same for all monsters coming forward. The other monsters coming forward, so I will not save the attack and defense. The flavor text of this monster is: behold of an invincible fist that could split a mountain. The flare battle flags burn within its chest. Defeat does not exist in the ultimate. In other words, this is basically, Tough Rhinos, I guess, make battle damage plus burn. But to be fair, as a normal monster, these stats are okay, except the defense. But other than that, for a level 7, he's okay. You get a B+ in math. But please don't fucking sucker punch me. Next, we have basically the ace monster of the deck, Ultimate Flag Mech Ace Breaker. A level 7 light attribute machine type monster. With the requirement of sending 2 monsters from your hand to the graveyard. Destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. That is literally it for his text. But the funny thing is, it's a basic, simple line of text, but it's funny. Because it basically beats maximum monsters, can beat fusion, and then just swing for a game. Of course, the requirement is sending 2 monsters, it doesn't declassify machines, so you can splash this card into any deck, basically. In other words, this is probably the most flexible Ultimate Flag monster, other than Boltcorn, but Boltcorn's still limited to machines. Bicorn's still limited to machines, but Acebreaker is not limited at all. But yeah, he is my favourite boy, and I do have an actual copy of this card in real life. Editor, can you please show this? Ultimate Flag Mech Gold Rush, a level 7 light attribute machine type monster, with the requirement for it to send 1 machine effect monster from your hand to the graveyard. Add 1 normal monster from your graveyard to the hand. Then, if your opponent has a free attack position monster on the field, you can special summon 1 normal monster from your hand to your field. Now, this kind of supports more of Tough Striker because of, Tough Striker itself is not very good. But the requirement for sending a machine, because a lot of the deck is effect machines, that's fine, and it doesn't limit it to light machines, so you can just send anything. Again, the add a normal machine monster, and then special summon a normal monster. Well, it's kind of flexible, but kind of not, because let's be real, in reality, there's no normal machine monster other than Tough Striker. So yeah, that's funny. And obviously Event Wolf, but you kind of want the level 7, so yeah. But in other words, this card is alright, and I can't wait for him, to be fair. Because let's be real, I really want Rush Duels in, the TCG, because that'll be fun. Next, we're on to the spell and traps. Now, you're probably wondering, because obviously last time, Dragons didn't have any traps, well, 0 traps, had quite a few spells, and Seven's Road had a crap ton of spells and traps. So, what has this deck got for spells and traps? 0 spells. I have looked so far to try and find a spell. Not one in sight. What about traps? Well, there's one. Ultimate Fighting Spirit. And Spirit is spelled wrong. Oh well. A normal trap card with the requirement for when your opponent's level 9 or monster declares an attack, targeting your defense position monster. Negate the attack, change the battle position of one monster to face attack position, then if you change normal monster's battle position, that face up, it gains 1000 attack points until the end of this turn. Now, for being an ultimate flag card, it kind of seems pathetic, and you're kind of right, but let's be real, it's better than nothing. Like, it's better than 0 spell and trap support, like some decks don't get, or some archetypes don't get. So, yeah, they should be grateful for what they have. So, now we've got everything covered. What decks can they work in? Now, as much as I really love this archetype, it kind of limits itself a bit, because it has a heavy focus on light machine monsters for half the deck. But, if you really want to risk it, well, play a pure version of the Ultimate Flags. Like, it's not as great as you would think, but you can have some fun with some other level 7 monsters like Primo Joint Attack Rex and Steeler Knight Mechlord. As well as Jinzo as a good legend card. You can have Craft Drone if you want to, Graceful Charity, Mirror Force, you know, the whole shebang. But if you do want to kind of mix it with one of the other machine archetypes, try Worker Warrior. Worker Warrior is a light machine monster based archetype which does boost the deck out a bit more, because now they have access to fusion monsters. But even then, your main goal is just to summon Ace Breaker or Gold Rusher plus Tough Striker to the game. But even then, you won't really run into too many things that will get in the way, especially because how much the deck is aggressive swarm. As you notice with the card effects, I have been basically saying it does this, it does that, but its main approach is just aggressive swarm attack the game, which is kind of funny, because, you know, it's like actual war. So yeah, that's going to be it for this entire episode. I hope you guys enjoy. My name is Yu Yan, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.